What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Today, I want to talk about a very important subject in the NFL, and that is the importance of line play. The offensive line and the defensive line is truly where the game is won and lost. I have seen my Chiefs go into 2 Super Bowls with poor line play, and they were decimated. They were demolished. They were destroyed. The Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, and be destroyed, be manhandled from start to finish. Why? It's not because of receivers. It's not because of coaching. Line play. The first Super Bowl they lost against Tampa Bay, they lost that game in large part because basically the entire line was out. I mean, everybody. The whole line was hurt. No Fisher, no Mitchell Schwartz. The interior line was a mess. Everything was just it was just in shambles, and they just got demolished. Mahomes is running around for his life out there. He never stood a chance. Never stood a chance. And he was not able to have any time in the pocket to find guys. He was running around just trying to survive, making wild throws, as he's getting taken down on the ground and scrambling. But again, no protection. Fast forward to last season. They lost to the Eagles in the Super Bowl. What happened? Couldn't protect him. Had no protection. They could not protect the best quarterback in the game, Patrick Mahomes. They couldn't do it. And we had Joe Tooney playing at left tackle last year because the tackle situation was a mess. They had to move Tooney over from left guard to left tackle, and he did an admirable job, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And now I watched the Super Bowl this last Sunday, and I see a guy like Will Campbell for the Patriots, and Will Campbell was a high draft pick, first-round pick. They talked about how he has short arms, and they thought he maybe was probably a better guard ultimately. And man, did he struggle. He struggled the other night. They gave up 6 sacks. They could not protect Drake May. They couldn't protect him. They just didn't have it. Never gave him a shot. You could not keep him upright long enough to actually do anything. And it just took me back to those Chief games where it's like, if you can't protect your quarterback, you don't have a chance. It really doesn't matter what you have out there. It doesn't matter what pieces you have. If you can't protect your quarterback, you're not going to have success. And on the flip side of that, if you can't get to the quarterback, you're also not going to have success. You see the Seahawks get after Drake May all night long, relentlessly. I saw the Eagles last year, all night long, relentlessly get after Patrick Mahomes. Same thing in Tampa Bay. This is a very simple thing to figure out. If you want to win at the highest level, you obviously need to have a great quarterback. You also need to have good coaching. You need to have good pieces in place. But if you don't have good line play on the front and on the back, defense and offense, you got nothing. You got nothing. And again, I just saw that Patriot game the other night, and I thought to myself, this feels very similar to what I saw the Chiefs deal with against Tampa Bay and against the Eagles. They couldn't protect him. They couldn't protect Drake May. They couldn't protect Mahomes in those games, which is why when I look at the draft coming up, and I've talked to some Chief fans, there's all different kinds of pieces and players that they want. And I'm open to anything. I'm open to a lot of those guys that they've talked about. And I'll talk more about those guys in the offseason. But I am not against drafting a tackle. I'm just not. And they say, you can't draft a right tackle in the first round. Baloney. Baloney, you can't draft a right tackle with the 9th pick in the draft. That's hogwash. Absolute hogwash. You can draft whoever you want to draft. And if you think that player is going to be a difference maker, you tell me we're drafting a potential, we'll just say he maxes out and he becomes a Pro Bowl caliber right tackle. It's good with me. It's good with me. You would have a left tackle in Simmons, who when he's there has been good. You have an all-pro center. You have a great right guard. You have a pretty good left guard who looked pretty good in his first year at that position. And then you'd have a young right tackle. You've got to protect your quarterback. You've got to protect the captain of your team, the man who runs the ship. You got to do it. And for New England, I say the same thing. They got to protect Drake and May. If they want to have success long term, you got to have good line play, offensively and defensively. And again, so if the Chiefs decide they want to go draft that kid from Clemson, on the defensive line, totally for it. Because you got to be able to create pressure. You got to create pressure, and you got to maintain the pressure if you're on the offensive line. So, very simple. just my simple thought of the day is if you don't have protection for your quarterback, it really doesn't matter what else you have, because if you can't protect him and you can't get pressure on the other guy, you're more than likely going to lose, and probably going to lose badly, as you saw both those teams do. The Chiefs did it, and so did New England. So, again, looking forward to the draft. I'm going to talk about a lot of these guys, but that was just kind of my thought as we're still kind of processing the Super Bowl, was just the lack of protection that Drake May had. And yeah, that's my thoughts. So have a good line. You got to have a good line. You got to be able to protect, and you got to be able to get after the quarterback. Plain and simple. Seattle did both those, and New England, they did not. So, and as a Chief fan, I understand it because I've seen it with my own two eyes. I have seen the Chiefs not be able to protect the quarterback, protect Mahomes. I mean, this year, he tears his ACL, he's hurt. It's so important. It's so important. You got to keep your guy upright, and you got to keep him healthy and safe out there. So those are my thoughts for the day. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you think I'm crazy or not, or if you think I'm spot on. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one.